Fables of the Fen, Stories to Read Aloud by Sherry Lambourne. Chapter 3. Forgiveness. When you pray, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive him, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins. Mark 11:25. Six dragonflies napped in the orange sunlight that was setting through the cattails. Devil Bliss was relaxing next to Dear Wester, thinking about how they had been humiliated by crashing into each other and falling into the algae in front of the geese. As he was looking around the pond, an idea occurred to him how to make Dankworth pay for his mistake of turning around and creating a crash of dragonflies. A large brown snake was nearby, coiled up on a rock in the watery mud, napping peacefully. He had beautiful skin, with diamond shapes sliding down his scaly back, dry from the sun. His breathing was almost imperceptible. That means you couldn't see it, as he seemed to sleep so soundly. "How about that snake over there?" Devil Bliss whispered to Dear Wester. "I think he needs to wake up from his sleep in a way that shows him who is boss." Dear Wester thought for a moment. "Dare him," he whispered back to Devil Bliss. "Dare Dankworth to go over there and wake him up. I know he won't do it." "Yes, he will," said Devil Bliss, and he cleared his throat loudly. "I am sure he will." The other four dragonflies woke up from their dreamy naps. Devil Bliss got even louder. "I dare you, Dankworth, to fly over to that lazy snake and wake him up. I even dare you to land on his head. This will show us how brave you are and make up for your mistake." Dankworth was wide-eyed with fear. He wasn't sure he was hearing Devil Bliss correctly. Was he daring him to risk his life and wake up that snake? Doing something that dangerous could cost a dragonfly his life. "I dare you," sang the dragonflies in unison. Remember, that means all together. They were all focused on Dankworth, who suddenly realized that he had let himself be the center of their attention and humiliation. The dare was to swoop down and lightly touch the sleeping snake and land on his head. Dankworth knew the danger. He had seen his brother come too close to a snake one day, and in an instant he completely disappeared as he became lunch for a very fast and sneaky copperhead. Dankworth grew agitated, flew off his cattail, and began darting back and forth, trying to decide whether to take the dare. His little heart was beating so hard because he knew he shouldn't take such a chance. It was just too dangerous. "You're such a baby," said Dear Wester. "You are more yellow than that stupid duck. Mr. Chicken is what we'll call you." "Mr. Chicken, Mr. Chicken," they all began in unison again. So Dankworth took the dare. He was desperate to be friends and be accepted. Okay, not so loud. You'll wake him up," Dankworth replied. I'll do it," he said reluctantly, which means he really didn't want to do it. He worked up courage, breathed several deep breaths, and swooped down on that sleeping snake. As he made his approach, he noticed one gray snake eye open slightly in a menacing slit. The snake was not really asleep. Dankworth's common sense got the better of him. He quickly stopped in midair, abandoned the dare, and flew up and away. He landed safely on another cattail nearby. "I knew he couldn't do it," said Devil Bliss. "He's just too chicken." They all laughed at him as he rejoined the group. Dankworth hung his head in anger and embarrassment. "He wasn't asleep, you guys. His eye opened. He was pretending. I would have disappeared in a flash and been his lunch." But his defense went unheeded, and the gang ignored him, loudly laughing and making fun of him. "Let's go, guys," said Dear Wester. "It's time we found a new member of our club." The group broke up and flew away. All that is, except for Dankworth. He began to sulk and feel depressed. Dankworth suffered the humiliation he tried to impose on McMallard earlier, and he started realizing how terrible it felt. As he clung to the top of the cattail and hung his head in shame, he looked down into the muddy water and saw that McMallard was hiding and listening in that very spot. When Dankworth saw him, he was very surprised. He feared that McMallard had heard and seen everything. "Oh," Dankworth paused. "How long have you been hiding in here?" "For a few minutes," said Mick quietly. "Well, how much of the conversation did you hear?" "Enough," replied Mick. There was an uncomfortable silence. McMallard was a wise little duck. He saw that Dankworth had been humiliated by his friends, so he took the chance to find out more by creeping closer to the cattails to see what he could find out. He also knew that talking to Dankworth was the most important thing he could do, for everyone's sake. "Well, I guess I better be going," said Dankworth. "Wait a minute. I want to talk to you. I have a couple of questions," interrupted Mick. "What do you want?" Dankworth asked angrily. "Well, first, did you really enjoy torturing me?" What do you mean, torturing you? I was just having a little fun at your expense." "Yeah, I noticed, but it wasn't fun for me." Another awkward silence passed, and Mick paddled around in a circle around a cattail. "Are those other dragonflies really your friends?" "Yeah, what about it?" Dankworth had a nasty tone to his voice. "Well, it just seems like you are trying very hard to impress them. When you have really good friends, you don't need to impress them. They accept you the way you are." "So, what's it to you? Why are you talking to me anyway? I hit you in the head about 2 hours ago." "Yeah, and it really hurt. And I have a lump back here, see?" He turned his little yellow head around to show a bump where the dragonfly had smacked him. "But," Mick said softly and slowly, I forgive you." "But I didn't ask to be forgiven. I don't want to be forgiven," Dankworth stated haughtily. That means proud and without regret. "I know. I think maybe you are a really nice dragonfly in disguise." In disguise? Disguised as what? In disguise as a bully to impress your friends. They influenced you to make fun of me and humiliate me, didn't they? Dankworth paused. Yeah, we actually did have a bet going I couldn't make you somersault. Dankworth smiled proudly and laughed with superiority. I won the bet. He puffed out his chest a little, remembering. But you really didn't want to do that, did you? Dankworth looked down and thought a minute. No, I guess not, he said slowly, his voice quieted. It's just that these guys are so tough, at least most of them, and if you don't strut your stuff, they won't have anything to do with you. I really want them as my friends. Who needs friends like that? McMallard asked, swimming in a little circle around a cattail again. I want friends who will stand up to bullies for me, and I will for him too. Mick thought a moment. You are a sad case, Dankworth. I really think we could be friends. But you can't because you're too interested in dragonflies that aren't good for you. They aren't friends. They are controllers. If there are things you must do to be their friend, they really don't want the real you, the good dragonfly you are. They just want to control you and make you into something you aren't. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Mick. Dankworth buzzed up off the cattail and flew away, leaving Mick alone in the cattails and feeling quite lonely. Mick wondered if he had done the right thing by confronting Dankworth and telling him the truth. He wondered if it really was the truth, that Dankworth was a good dragonfly. Maybe he really was a bully just like the others. But Mick felt sorry for him. Then he felt sorry for himself. Mick wanted friends too, and it seemed like friends were hard to find. Mick paddled back to the center of the pond and rejoined Gus, Guinevere, Gerhard, Gabgale, Gomer, and Gertrude. Maybe these kind geese were the only friends he really needed. Why do I need another friend anyway? Mick thought to himself. Where have you been? Asked Guinevere. Did you go near those terrible dragonflies? Yes, and I think we're going to be friends, smiled Mick with great optimism. That means a lot of hope. Friends? How? Asked Guinevere. She really didn't believe him. Well, first of all, I forgave him, said Mick. Secondly, we communicated, and that's a great start. Let's talk about this. Did the dragonflies treat each other with dignity? Press pause. Did Mick forgive Dankworth for hitting him? Press pause. Was Dankworth sorry? Press pause. Do others need to be sorry for what they did for us to forgive them? Press pause. Listen to the song, Give Forgiveness.
I give forgiveness to you. You give forgiveness to me. is